Hello, and this is a ElectronJS crash course. ElectronJS is really amazing and powerful tool to create the desktop application for all the major operating system like macOS, Windows, and Linux. Yes, we can create with a one code base for three different platforms at the same time with the all native application interfaces and the tools we can use and we can implement in our application. So we are going to start with very zero thing. That means starting from scratch and creating a very nice awesome application using the ElectronJS to learn the fundamental plus the essential concept of ElectronJS. This crash course is for everyone. If you are new to ElectronJS or you have experience, I'm sure you will going to get some amazing thing. So now let's see what actually we are going to create in this crash course. So this is the desktop application. You can see this is my desktop, the macOS, and here we can see we have this nice little window created by the ElectronJS. So right now you will see that okay, this is very basic thing, we are not doing amazing thing. Now let's see, we have this menu. So yes, this menu is also created by the ElectronJS. So now let's click on file and we have this tab or menu item called open camera. Once I click here, you can see another window is open called window 2, and we have this camera open of my laptop. And this is all happening because of the JavaScript we can have. And now we have this capture image button. As soon as I click on this one, you can see I am here with very ugly face. Yes, there is another thing which is this notification, and notification is right now not clicking because I am on recording mode. But if you are not in recording mode, this will pop up directly. So not just this thing, we can have many other things. And remember, with this you have all the control. So you can see Electron is having this about button which is not doing anything, but on the file you can have a learn more to open the Bitfume's website. Next you have this window menu icon where you can minimize window like this, maximize it, or you can just close the window. And you can see window is closed, not the application, and you can revive the application just by clicking on the icon. And finally, you can exit this application right here from the menu item. And all these things we are going to build in this ElectronJS crash course. So I'm really excited for this course. And if you like this video, if you like this crash course, please give it a thumbs up, which is extremely important, and share your views about ElectronJS and what else you want to learn in ElectronJS or any other course if you want me to create on this Bitfume's YouTube channel. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to Bitfume's YouTube channel if you have not subscribed, and let's start this crash course. And now let's start with ElectronJS. So if you don't know what ElectronJS is a tool. Using this you can create the window application. I'm saying window application, you can call it desktop application, and it's for every operating system like macOS, Ubuntu, and obviously the Microsoft Windows. So this ElectronJS is actually using JavaScript or Node.js, basically the JavaScript for the front end, Node.js for the backend, and combining both we can create the desktop application. Isn't it really amazing? Let's quickly get started with this ElectronJS. Let's go to the website of electronjs.org and then click on documentation. Here first we need to check that do we have the node. So we need to go to the quick start, and here we need to see that do we have the node or npm installed. Okay, so here I have this, obviously the VS Code. This VS Code is having nothing. I have opened, I have created a directory called Electron app, and this is a totally empty directory or folder, you can call it. And here first I will say, do we have the node? Yes. Do we have the npm? Yes. Now let's move. Now next it says that you have to create directory, which we already have created, and then it says that you need to init the npm. What is that? Let's do npm init. If I do this, it's going to ask various questions. I don't want to fill all these answers, so I will use a y flag so that I don't have to answer everything, get the default one. So if I say npm init and with a y flag, it's doing all these things, and you can see we have this package.json as the new file we created. Let's click here and see all these things are here. But we are using the ElectronJS, and Electron need a little bit modification in this file. What's this? Let's go. Here it says once you have created the package.json, then you need to check that entry point should be main.js. How we can change that? Let's go to the package.json, and here the main is index.js by default. Let's change it to main.js. That's the easy thing. Next, it says it should look like this. Yeah, the very important thing is main.js. Nothing else matter. Wow. Next is you need to install the Electron package in your package.json. So package.json take care of all the JavaScript. Let's install now the Electron. So I will copy it and open the terminal, paste it, and I don't know why they are putting dollar on the copy sign. I don't know, but let's install it. While this is installing, after that you will see that here we will see the dev dependency of Electron with the latest version. Let's see. Okay, so we need to wait. Yeah, it's done actually. So in our node modules we have Electron related every package, but you can see now dev dependency is Electron. Cool. After that, it says that you need to add a script called electron and dot to start the Electron server, and we need to add this on our package.json. Let's go package.json. We have the script called test. You can remove it or keep it, but the important thing is start with electron dot. Now remember, we have added the main.js as the entry point. So let's create this file also, because we are going to need this one very soon. After that, it says you can create the server, but I want to do that after some time. So first I need to create something in our application, which is the view part, the HTML part. So here is some HTML given by the documentation. Let's copy this one and create a index.html. You can name it anything, like literally anything, but let's keep it index.html and paste it. This is very simple HTML file with a title, with a text called hello world, and some of the versions which we will get later for our Electron application. Okay, so this is done. We have the main.js, we have the index.html. What else? Now it says that, hey, you need to import something from Electron and then create a window and then attach this HTML to that window. How we can do that? Everything is given here. Everything is given here, and let's do that manually. I'm not going to copy paste so that you will understand easily. First, I'll say const and require Electron. So I'm using the Node.js. This is a Node.js thing. I cannot do import thing. It's a common JS. So now from the Electron, I'm going to say app, importing the app and importing the browser window, not the view, browser window. Okay. Now, since we have the app and the browser window, first I'm going to create a function called create window. This is an arrow function, and here in this function I'm going to first create a win variable or a constant which is going to new up or initiate the browser window, and inside that I'm going to define the height as 800, let's say 500, and width as 800. Okay, after this I will say win, that means the window which we have created right here, dot load file, and which file I want to show on the window, the index.html. Let's say index.html, and that's why I said that you can name it anything. Now since we have this function, we need to call this function, but when we can call it, we need to say that when app is ready. So app dot when ready, this is a function, dot then, this is the part when the application is ready, that means ElectronJS is loaded, everything is loaded, then I say that hey, create my window, and that's it. This is the code which is required to create a very first simple application. And now I need to just say npm run start. Remember, we have added this script, and that's why we can use npm run start. Once I hit here, you will see that we have this window which is saying that hello world and all these things, and this is coming from the index.html. Remember, here is the index.html. Let's change it to hello world from Sarthak. Yeah, good. And it's not restarted automatically, so we need to kill this server, restart it, and boom, it's there. And this is the very first thing we have created with ElectronJS, so congratulations. And now let's move forward with the amazing part of ElectronJS. Now that we can start our window very easily when we start the server, but what if I manually close this window? So if I click on cut, wow, you can see application is stopped. That's not we want. We want it to be minimized somehow, because this happened with all the application created with the Electron. How we can achieve that functionality? Let's see. So here it says that, where's that? Yeah. So normally on Windows and on Linux, when you exit any application, it will automatically close it, and this is the default behavior which I just saw on our application. But it's not in the case of macOS. macOS keep the application running even if there is no Windows. So how actually we can implement that thing? So we just need to use this event, and we need to say that when all applications are closed, then just quit the application. Do not quit, do not kill it. So let's call this one, and we will see the effect very easily. Just after this, when ready, I'm saying when like app.on window all closed, then if this is not a Darwin means if it is not a, you can say, macOS, then quit the application, just quit the application. Otherwise, if it is a Mac, do nothing, because this is the default behavior of the Mac, which keep the Windows running. Now if I just run it, yes, you can see it's started. But now if I click on close, you can see server is still there, and you can see we have this Electron icon here on my dock. This means if I click on this icon, it should reopen the application. And this happened with all other, like Slack is created with this you can say created with the ElectronJS. So if I close it, it's not actually closing the application, but it's just keeping the application running behind the scene and closing the window. If I re-click, yes, it's back. So how we can implement that thing? For that, this ElectronJS has amazing thing. It says when you activate the application, then create a new window if there is no window open. Okay, so let's copy this one, and on this, when app is ready, create window, or app.on activate, you can see I'm going to create a new window. That's once again good thing. So now I have quit the application. There is no you can say Electron app here, start. There is the Electron app, window is there. I close the window, no killing of the application is alive. But if I once again click on the icon I'm activating, you can see the window is back. And this is really amazing thing, and this is we want on all the platform, whether it is Mac OS, Windows and Ubuntu. Mac OS has the behavior similar to this, but on the other we just want to quit the application, not kill the application on Ubuntu or on Mac. So this is really great thing. And now in the next video, let's move forward with this documentation and see how we can show the versions of Node.js, Chromium and Electron in our application. That means doing something out of the Electron thing, doing something Electron, doing something JavaScript thing. So let's see the magic of Electron in the next video. And now we have this window running, but we can see we are not having the version of either Node, Chromium and Electron. We need to add it. We need to interact with our application before it loads. So for that, we need to create a new file called preload.js. You can name it anything once again, but it's the recommended one. Inside this, we need to just add a event listener for DOM content loaded. You know, basically it's all HTML, the DOM, the browser window. So let's copy each and everything from here and paste it here like this. Okay, now what it is doing, it says that when the DOM content is loaded, then I'm going to create a function called replace text. So get something by ID, and then if there is an element for that, then just change the inner text with the text which we provide. Okay, and I'm using this for each, for Chrome, Node and Electron. So first I say replace text for Chrome version. This means we should have an ID of Chrome version. So open the index.html and you can see we have this Chrome version with the span with the ID of Chrome version. Okay, so I'm using this selector for the Node version, Electron version, everything is there, Node version, Electron version, Chrome version. And then we find that from the process versions and giving the name, and which is the text. Okay, this is fine, but how we can attach this to our main.js? For this, you can see we are creating the window, and it's for the window, so that we have to run, or we have to add this web preferences. Okay, so let's copy this one and then paste it. Web preferences preload, that means before the loading of the window, I'm going to say that path.join underscore the name, which is this one. So actually this is useful for creating a path for this preload.js file for every OS, because like Windows, Mac OS or Ubuntu, different operating system has a different way of giving the path for any file. So that's why this is very important, and this is using the path, so we need to import it. So first let's say const path require path. This is Node.js thing, so if you don't know, don't worry about this. This is just for creating the path. Now everything is good, so let's restart our server or window, and this time you will see that we have a Node version of 16.13.2, Chromium version 100 point something, and Electron version 18.2.0, and that's really amazing. But we have seen that we started from very basic, from nothing, but it's not good for the production ready application. It's not good to create the real application, because you have to write each and everything which you can minimize. And that's why Electron provide you a very nice way to deal with the application, to work with the Electron application, which is called Electron Forge. So in the next episode, let's work with the Electron Forge. I told you that for creating a production ready application, we need to use the Electron Forge. So either you can create the application directly using the Electron Forge by running this npx create electron app latest app, or you can just import the existing project with this Electron Forge. And this is what we are doing because we already have a project, the Electron project, and then we will import it. How we can do that? Let's see. So here is our project, which is having all these things. Npm run or npm start is also going to work, which is going to create this window or application. Nice. But next we need the production ready. That means we need a real application to be here, which we can double click and start the application or start the window. How we can do that? Let's first install the Electron Forge CLI in our application. So kill this one and install it. This is going to not just install the Electron Forge CLI, it's going to configure some of other things. So once this is installed, we will see on our package.json that we will have another dev dependency of Electron Forge CLI. After that, we need to create this npx electron forge import, and this is the real magic which is happening for creating a production ready application. And it's taking time, I don't know, but after this we are going to run the npx electron forge import. And now you can see it's done, and on our package.json this is there. And next let's run this one, and this is going to do a lot of things. So let's have some things. So first checking and then initializing the git repository, which we already did, then writing something on our package.json. Let's see what it has written. It has written some of the script, two script. One is the package, second is the make. Make is the real thing which is actually going to create the application which we can use to run the window without all these setup. Then we have some other dev dependencies for make things, the dependencies, electron squirrel startup, some of the configuration for the forge, especially for the forge, a lot of other things are there. So everything is done. What next? After this, we just need to run this command, and then we will have the final product in our hand. So let's run this one also. Npm run make. Now you can see everything is going to be inside this out directory. So once this is done, we will see that we have this out directory. Let's reveal this in Finder, or here we have. And now in the out we have two, one is make, another is electron app, and you can see we have this electron app. Let's just double click this one, and you can see now we have this application. Let's kill this, and you can see that I don't have any server running, and I'm just using this electron app icon, which is the real application, which is 196 MB. It's a lot, but it's okay. And if I run it, I'm having this window which we have created till now. That's great. If you want to go inside the Mac, the Darwin, and then you have a zip file. Zip file is going to give you the same similar application, which is this one. Is this same? Exactly same. And how about zip? Zip is 83. This is fine. Anyways, this is how we can create our application and create our application for production ready thing. So let's add this out directory, which it's already done. So that's fine. Now let's move in the next episode to create some more magic with the ElectronJS. our Electron application is running properly, it's doing good. But what if we start, and when we see our application, you can see on here we have a lot of Electron related, you can say, menu items. But what if I want to add my own menu item? So let's work on this and see how we can do that. I don't want all these things. So for that, let's go to the Electron page, the website, and on the search menu, just search for menu. And here you will get it. Or if you want, just go to the API. So on the page, go to the documentation, and then you will find this API tab, and then you can just scroll down for the menu. And if you can find, like here, yeah, here it is. Now what you have to do, you have to read it. No, at the center of this sidebar you have this example, and here it says first you need to import a, you can say, class called menu, and then you need to define some of the menu, and at last you have to first build the menu from the template we will going to create, and then set that menu to the application. If this sounds confusing, let's see in the code. That's going to make things easy. Now I will go on the main part, the main file, and from the Electron I'm going to import menu. Okay, next we need to create a menu structure. So I called it like menu items, and this is always going to be an array. This is very important. And array of what? Array of number, string? No, array of different objects. So array of an object, and this object holds at least one thing, which is called label, what you want to call that menu item. So suppose you can see this is a file, so this menu is file, and on that sub menu is close window. Similarly, edit is the menu, and the sub menu is undo, redo, cut, all these things. Okay, let's now go here, and first I'm going to create a label called about, and this is going to be a string. That's it, very simple thing. Now what next? We need to create menu from our menu template. So this is the menu template. So I will say const menu, the small m, don't confuse with this capital M, because capital M is a class. I'm going to use dot create, I can say not create, build from template. And what is the template? Template is menu item, or we can call it menu item template if you want. Once you have built the menu, then you need to say menu dot set application menu, and which menu? The menu we have created. So just by doing this, if we restart our Electron application, you can see we just have one tab called Electron, and if I click, nothing is there. This is not good. So I can call it menu. So what I want, when I click on this Electron, I can see some about button or about sub menu. So let's add the sub menu here. So sub menu, and I told you menu is always going to be an array of an object. An object always need label, so label of about. Now this is good. Restart the application, and this time you can see if I click on Electron, I have this about. Wow, that's really great. Now you can create something like this, like file, edit, other things. How? You just need to create another object on the menu items and call it file, and on the sub menu, that means on the drop down, I call it exit. That's very sweet. Let's start this once more time. Yeah, now we have Electron, which is having a submenu of about. We have a file which is having a submenu of exit. That's really great. Let's add another on the file menu. What about let's say learn more, and you will see that this is going to affect very easily on our application. And file, learn more, and exit. But isn't it like it should be like after learn more, exit should be separated. So actually we need a separation. So if I go here, and you can see there is a line, separated line here on the normal menu, we can see, just to separate two different set of menus. So what I can do, I can create a role, not role, actually type of separator. So separator, like here, and then restart. And this time you can see now after this learn more, we have this separator line. And this is how you create the menu items in your Electron application. But doing everything in main.js is not good. So I can extract this thing into a directory called src, and inside the src I will create a file called menu.js, something like that. But I'm not going to do that for now because this is a little advanced stuff. What I want to do is, what if I click on exit? I want to close this application. That's it. Let's start and see how we can create how we can make this thing interactive. So let's see in the next episode. Okay, so now we have the menu items and it is showing everywhere, but it's not doing anything. If I click on learn more, nothing happens. If I click on exit, nothing happens. So how we can check for the click method? It's very easy. First, if you want to know more about this, you can see here on the example, we should find, so something like this. You need to give a click items on this object. Then you have to define a function. On that function, you can do something, or you can directly do something if you don't want to add any function. So let's have this on the click. For the exit, what actually we want? We want to say app.quit. That's it. That's the easy thing we want to do. So let's restart this application. And we are having some issue. Why? See, I told you, you can write something directly here, but as soon as the Electron rendering this menu, it says that, okay, what I have to do on the click, I have to run this function, and it ran this function, and eventually the application just closed. It quit. So this means we need to put this inside a function like here. Simple. Let's retry this, restart. And yep, we have this. Let's go on the file, click on exit. Boom. We are exited from our application. This is the so easy thing, and that's why really Electron is amazing. Now let's do some more thing. See, we have this learn more, and on the learn more, I actually want to open the Bitfumes website, suppose. So how I can do that? Once again, we have to do everything on the click because this is the only thing we can do. And here I can create a function which is going to trigger once we click on learn more. Now what we want to open external link from the shell. So first we need to import the shell, and then we can run this function. Let's try this one. So yes, they have imported directly here, but what if you want to use the shell more than once? It's better to import shell from here, like here. So shell from Electron, that's good. Now we can go here on the learn more click part. Then we can say shell dot open external link, and the link is https bitfumes.com. Impressive. Let's run this application and see the magic. Click on file, click on learn more, and boom, you can see the Bitfumes website is opened on the default browser. And that's really amazing to see that how we can create so easy things with so easy steps. Yes, if you want, you can make it async await also. There is no issue on that. If this things is taking some time and you don't want the user to wait after that, so async await will be good thing. Okay, ElectronJS is so great that it provides one more ability on the menu things, menu items. See, we have actually added this exit, and we need to add our own you can say code to close the application, to quit the application. But Electron provide way easy thing. How? Let's see. Here we have a lot of role available here, the role thing. Okay, so if you scroll down, once again, this is the API for menu. You see that we have a role of close, just the role, no label, no click. Let's see how this is going to affect. So I'm going to remove this exit from here, or maybe let's keep it, and then I'm going to add another one, and this time I'm going to say role of close. That's it, nothing else. Now if I run this application, you will see that on the file menu item, we have a new item called close window, and also this has added the keyboard shortcut. This means if I click here, application is just closed, not quit. The window is closed. So this is going to be in the window. So what I can do, I can cut it from here like this one, and see we have this file. So after this I can create another with the label of window, and then I say sub menu is going to be an array once again, and let's close the window only, not quit the application. Let's rerun, and this time we have a window. In the window we have a close, not quit. One more time. So close is just closing the window, and application is still running. So if I click here, you can see we are back on the application. So exit is totally closing application, window, everything, but the close is just going to close the window. So that's why I put it inside the window. But we also want to minimize the window. Yeah, so we have another role for minimize. So we can say minimize like this, or S. I'm not sure. Let's see what minimize is going to. No, minimize is not there. So maybe with a Z. Restart. Yep, so minimize with a keyboard shortcut is available here. So I can use my keyboard shortcut of command M for minimizing, or you can just go and run it. So amazing. And just like this, we have various other roles available for this: zoom in, zoom out, and reload application, delete, separate, a lot of other things you can scroll, you can explore actually. So let's move to another amazing thing in ElectronJS. Menu is done. See you in the next video. In ElectronJS, we saw that we can create a new window just like this. But what if we want to open another window? How we can do that? So we already have a menu item here, and what I can do, I can create another menu, or I can say sub menu on the file, and I will call new window. Okay, and on the click event of this new window, I want to open a new window browser or browser window. So if you want to explore more APIs for the browser window, you can go to the API section of the Electron and search for browser window, which is here. Now you can see we can easily do all of these steps, no issue on that. Okay, now what I can do, similarly we have given here create new window. I'm going to create another window here. So first I'm going to say win2, the window 2, new browser window. and inside that I'm going to give the height as previously. Let's say height is 200 and width is, let's say, 400, and let's keep it 3. Now what we want, we need to say win2 dot load file, and we have this index.html. So index.html, let's see is this going to work or not. So I'm going to open the terminal and restart it. That's good. This is the normal window, first window. I go on the file and click on new window, and yes, you can see with the proper size our window is here with the same content. We don't want the same content, so what we can do, we can create another file. Let's call it index2.html, and here I'm going to copy everything and paste it. I'm going to say this is window 2 and nothing else. Okay, and let's give the title of window 2, and here let's load the second window instead of index 1. So it should open the window 2, see the title and the text. Great. But you can see we can also load a full URL or a full web page. Let's do that also and see how we are going to do. So window 2 dot load from URL, and URL is https://bitfumes.com. That's easy one. And now let's see. Yes, it is here, window, and yeah, the Bitfumes website is right here in front of you. Yes, we can close this and see everything is just like we have a window, like browser. It's actually a browser window. Okay, but remember, if I close it and open it, it's taking a little bit of time when it's loading. The white screen was there because at that time the website was in loading state. So how we can say to the Electron that, hey, only show this browser window when the content is ready. Okay, so here it's given. If you scroll down, first you need to say that browser window showing false. That means by default I'm not going to show this browser window, but once the window is ready to show, then show it. Let's do that. First we need to say show as false. Okay, next I'm going to say, hey, I want to load, obviously I need to load it, but after that I say window 2 dot once ready to show, then I need to say window 2 dot show. That's it. So easy stuff. And now if I restart it, yes, it's there. Go to the file, click on new window, and you can see with a little delay we saw that website is directly here. There was no white screen for a long time. Very quick, very quick. And this is really great thing for any kind of, if you want to open any kind of website. Now this is really amazing to see how we can interact with the browser window, but also you can set up a different color to the new browser window you have created. So let's have this, and let's say I want this color. And is it going to affect because we are loading a full new website? Initially it was having that. So I'm going to do one thing. Instead of showing the Bitfumes website, let's add the index2.html, which is our index file, and let's try this. Yeah, you can see this is a full gray colored, and this is because of the window background we have set to the background color of this one. Yeah, so you can set your background color manually also, is not just passing it on the browser options. You can set it directly, the hexa color, RGB color, HSL color, or directly write it down the color name. That's great. You can also set up where you want the window object to be opened. So it should be on the top or it should be on the back side. So this is right, amazing stuffs in the, you can say, in browser window. So a lot of other options are there. Height we have seen, width we have seen, and the default values we already have. You can say use content size, which is boolean, that will be web page size. So if you want it to be centered, which is by default true. Min width, min height, all of these things. Is it movable? So by default is true. Let's have this one and see. You can see now I can move it, but what if I say that, hey, movable is false? Now if I do this and let's try this one and run it, I cannot move. I'm trying, but I cannot move. This is the power of the options we are having. Minimizable, do you want user to minimize this window or not, something like that. So lots of amazing options are there. Do you want the user to make the window full screen or not? So lots of amazing thing you have to deal with, you have to explore. And this is window, but I want to do something amazing, something crazy with this new window. So let's do that in the next video. So we have seen that we can actually open a new window. Now instead of new window, I'm going to open the camera. Yes, the laptop camera I want to open using this new window. So let's have this menu item as open camera, and I don't want to open any website, so I don't want to load anything, but yes, I want to change this index 2 as camera.html. okay, so let's change this to camera.html, and I'm going to say camera access. Okay, and then I'm going to create a video element with no source, because we need to get the source and plug it here, but giving the ID as camera. Okay, that's super easy thing. Now I'm going to load this camera.html, and once ready I'm going to show it. Everything is fine. I want to just restart this and see how it's going to look. Obviously this is open camera and its background is black or gray, and camera access text is here, but after that I want to have a real camera access. So since this ElectronJS is basically a JavaScript thing, okay, so we can use the native JavaScript thing, JavaScript library or API, whatever you want to call, to open the browser, to open the camera of our device. So first I'm going to search for open camera JS, that means JavaScript. So this Stack Overflow answer is there. Let's open it and see. It says that first you need to use this navigator.media devices get user media, and constraint is video. Okay, so let's try this one. So I'm going to create an script tag here, or maybe here I can say source is camera.js. so I'm going to create another file called camera.js, and inside this I'm going to say navigator dot media devices dot get display media, or user media actually. Yes, get user media. Here video is going to be true. Okay, I'm getting the access for the camera, that means the video thing. Once it is done, that means when we get the camera access, then we get the stream, that means the video content. So I say stream. Okay, now we get that stream, and let's log the console log stream. And this is good, but how actually we can open the dev tool? So Let's start the server and go to the file, open camera, and we cannot right click, so we can use the keyboard shortcut Command Option and I, and this should open, but it's not opening. So something is wrong here. So what we can do, we can enable the, you can say we can enable the dev tool, the browser dev tool by default. How we can do that? We say window 2 dot it's like dev tool, something dev tool, or maybe tool. Oh, so I need to get the access and find it here. So maybe I can search Electron open dev tool, Stack Overflow, and it says that web content, and then open dev tool. So I say window 2 web content dot open dev tool. So by default it's going to open the dev tool. So start, open camera, and dev tool is there. And if I can see the console, where is the console? Actually I can resize it, and here is the console, and you can see the media is here. So we get the media, but we need to connect the stream to the video content we have. So let's go here on the camera.js. Above this I'm going to say const video is equal to document.getElement by id of camera. We get this. Then we say video dot, it's very important to set some attribute, and setting the attribute of important one is autoplay. So we can either do this here by JavaScript, or you can directly add here auto play like this. Okay, so once we have done with this, we just need to say video dot src source object is equal to stream, and we need to verify this source object stream. Cool. Now let's start this server, and finally open camera, and something is there, and you can see I am here. So I need to just close the dev tool so that I can see myself here on this camera. So restart the server, open camera, and I am here. But let's give some height and width to the video content. So I can say width is let's say 200, and height is 300, width is 400. Restart it and open camera, and boom, you can see I am here in front of you in this browser window using ElectronJS. Isn't it really amazing to see this much thing on our desktop application, not on the browser? And this is the real power of ElectronJS. So see you in the next video with the amazing thing on ElectronJS. And now let's do some crazy stuff. We know that we can open the camera from here, and we have this camera. You can see me on the screen, and now I want to have a capture image button, and I want to capture image from this live video and then send that image to the main window or the first window we have, and show that window or show that image on this window. Sounds crazy, but that's not. And let's do this in some of the next videos. So first thing, what we have to do, we have to go to the camera.html, and just after this I'm going to create a button called capture image. Okay, I'm going to add an ID to this button called capture image, and that's it. Next important thing I want to do is go to the main.js, and here we have this height and width. Let's make this height and width a little bigger. What we have for The original window is 500 and 800. Let's have the same one. Next, after this, I don't want to give any background and movable things, so I'm going to remove it. And let's now see what we have done. So here's the first window, open camera, second window, it's movable, no issue. We have this video running right here and the capture image button. Looking good. What next? When we click on this button, we want to capture an image from the live video, and for now, let's show that image right here in this window only. I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to Google it. So Google like capture image from video in a JavaScript. So best way is Stack Overflow, and here you will find this amazing code. First, it says that you need to create a canvas, and you can set a height and width, and then create a canvas, and then from the canvas you can actually capture the data. So canvas is just a layer over the video, and since we have the height and width of the video for the canvas, it's going to actually capture whatever comes on the canvas. So first, let's do this thing. For this, I will go to the camera because we have the this button. Where is that? Capture button inside the camera.html. So go to the camera.js. Just like we are getting this video element from the document, let's do that. So const capture button is equal to document.getElement by id on capture image. Is this the id? That's right, capture image. Nice. So we have the button, but we need to add an event listener or click event listener. So capture button dot add event listener of click, and here I want to do something. So what we have to do, we have to do all these things. So let's copy all these things and paste it here. Now let me explain one by one. First, we are creating a canvas through the document. So document.createElement for the canvas. Then we set the height and the width of the canvas as the height and the width of the video or the video element we have, like here. Then we set the 2D context of the canvas and defining each and everything, like where we have to place the like canvas. So we need to place the canvas just above the video where we have. And finally, we can get the data for that canvas. So let's just log the data URL and let's retry. We have the window, open the camera, camera is here, click on capture image. We can see because we have logged it, and we need to open the dev tool. So let's go to the main.js, and here we can see we have this window 2.webcontent.open dev tool. This is going to open the dev tool by default as soon as the window loads. So here we are, here we have the camera, the video is there, capture image, and you can see all these data is right here in the you can say console. But what we have to do, we have to use this actually data, and then we can create a image tag right here and then show that image inside the image tag. So let's do that, and I don't want the dev tool, so close it. Now once again on the camera.html, for now, because we don't want to show the image here, but just for now, I'm going to create an empty image tag and call it image tag. Yes, so id is image. Go to the camera, once again capture image tag, get element by image, and then we just need to do this image tag dot source object is equal to data URL. So basically we are setting the source field for the image tag as the data we are getting. That's easy. Let's try this and see what's going to happen. Oops, not this. Open camera, click on capture camera, capture image. Nothing is doing here, it's not working. Maybe I can first check for any error in the console. So let's open the dev tool, open camera. Oops, it's frozen. Restart, open camera and capture. That seems like nothing is happening. What happened here? Seems like something is not good. Oh, so image source, it's not source object. That's the thing I'm missing. And one more time, you can see that if I capture image, okay, so we are getting it, but we have some issue on our console. So console says that it violated the policy, content policy, and this policy we have seen, we have written here. So we just need to add one more thing called image-source. This can be self and the data related thing, so data colon. So just by adding this thing, it's now going to work. Reload and open camera. Oops, it says image, so something is not happening good. And yes, it's img, not full image. One more time, that's done. And finally we can able to capture it. You can see we are able to capture more images, something like this. Very nice, we have done this. But now what we need to move this image from this window to the first window, the hello world window. But for that we need to understand the concept of IPC, inter-process communication. Yes, sounds scary, but it's very simple. Let's see in the next video. Before moving to the real coding thing, I want to explain very important concept called inter-process communication. Now, what happened in ElectronJS is you have two types of processes running. One is the real main process. Second is the render process, or you can call it window process. Now, each application, like the application we have created, can have only one main process, but can have multiple render process. Okay. Now, what happened here, if you go on the code, we have this main.js file, which is the main process. Here it's running the main process, and this main process is running by Node.js. But the render process, we have the camera.js, and obviously if we want on the index.js, these two are running on the render process. That means for the client side. Now we know that it's not like a good. Now what if you want to pass the data from render to the main process, or vice versa, like main process to the render process? Maybe you also want to pass the data from one render process to second render process. This is actually we need to pass data from window 1 to window 2, or maybe window 2 to window 1. So this thing we can do with this IPC, inter-process communication. So there are multiple types of IPC. One is this one called render to main. So this is just a one way. What that means, from the client interaction you can pass the data to the main process, or I can say I can pass this image from this window 2 to the main file, that main.js here. This is the first thing. Second is render to main in a two-way. That means you can pass from render to main or main to render. The third important thing is obviously main to render only, and the fourth one is render to render. Now, what happened here, we always need to go through the main process. So now what's our goal? Our goal is to pass this image from window 2 to this hello world window. We cannot directly pass it. We need to go through the main.js or main process. So from window 2, first we pass this image to the main process. Then from the main process, we send back that image to the window 1 or the hello world. If this concept is clear to you, let's move forward. If not, let's rewind this video and see, or you can just read this documentation. Yes, it is little lengthy, but it's very easy to understand. So what we have to do to pass these data from one to main to render, we have two methods. One is IPC main, second is IPC render. As the name suggests, IPC main works on the main process, that means the main.js, and IPC render works on the, obviously, on the client side or the windows. But we have the issue. We cannot do this require part on our camera.js because this is the client side thing. Client side doesn't know what Node.js is. So for that, we have this preload.js. This is the real magic. Remember, we had created this preload, which is actually getting the version from Node.js and passing that version into the index.js directly. And this preload is really useful because this runs before the load of the render HTML. Once again, let me explain you. When we need to pass this image to the main process, then we need to use the preload or IPC render. To use this IPC render, we need to use this preload.js, which runs before the index.html, or in our case, camera.html. So remember, when we had created this main window, the first window, we have defined that web preferences and loading the preload.js. We need to do the similar thing for our new window, which we are creating on the open camera menu item. Okay, so everything is, I know it's bounced back from your head, but things will get very clear once we start writing the code. So once again, if you are not getting these what is IPC is, just think about this as a way of transferring data from the window to the main process or the render process to the main process. That's it. Now let's start writing the code. Now let's do the coding, and since we know what IPC is, or at least we have the idea that IPC means sharing the data. So what we have actually, we have this capture image button, and we want to pass the image from here to the main process, the render to the main. Okay, so how we can do that? First is, you can see render to main, one way. Okay, what we have to do, we have to go on the main and we need to say IPC main, and we need to create a listener. So IPC main dot on some event name and then event data, what we want to do here. Cool. That sounds like very easy thing. So now I can say IPC main, we done with that. And when the app is ready, then I say IPC main dot on, and I can say, let's say set image, and then we will get the event, then we will get the data like here, and we will do something. For now, let's console log the data, and since this is the Node.js thing, so that will be available here on the terminal. But how we send the data? This is the listener IPC on an event name called set image. That's easy. On the render.js, you will see that we have this window.electron_API.setTitle. So how this Electron API is coming in the window? Let's first see, do we really have it or not? And for that, I'm going to log window.electron_API on the camera.js. It's a renderer. Restart the server and then open the camera. It's undefined. It's undefined on this camera, the window 2. Do we have this on our index.html? Although we don't have the index.js file, so let's create it quickly. So index.js, let's create a quick file, index.js, and do we have the, no, we don't have the dev tool for window 1, so let's open the dev tool for window 1 also. Restart the server, and you can see the Electron API is still not available on any of the window. Why this happening? So if you open the preload.js, you can see there is a context bridge, and this context bridge is the power of IPC, the inter-process communication. So what actually we are doing with this code is we are exposing this set title function as the Electron API object. And if you're not getting this, let's copy this code from here. Since it's on the preload, let's open the preload, and at the bottom let's paste it. And it's doing something, I don't care. I just want to see that expose in main world is Electron API with a new object of set title. Just by doing this, we will now have an object of Electron API. This means now we can pass something from the preload to our rendered.js, which is the index.js for the index.html, the window 1. Remember the window 1. But now we don't want this Electron API in the window 1. We want this to be on the window 2, because from there we can send the camera image. This means we need the preload for the camera also, or the preload for window 2 also. Remember, to have the preload on window 1, we use this code. Similar code we need to add on our window 2. Let's add it. And yes, you can use the same preload, but it will be good if you use another preload. So camera preload is a good name. I'm going to create camera preload.js, and let's copy these things from here and here. Now, similar thing is now available on the window 2. So let's restart the server, and on the window 2, you can see we have the Electron API object. Okay, so what we can do, since we have the Electron object, this is the function we are getting. We can pass something from the front end, from the HTML, that will go to the preload, and on the preload we can use the IPC renderer to send, or I can say to emit the event, send the event with the data. If you are not getting it, let's do this and then you will find it easy. Okay, so let's save it like here. Go to the camera.js, and here you can see we are setting the image tag as data URL. We don't want to do this thing. We just want to say window.electron API dot I can say send image, and send image with the data URL. Okay, so let's remove this one. Now, do we have the send image on the camera preload? Let's see. No, so let's create it. Send image. This will going to get the data, okay, and data, and this is going to say set image. Okay, so IPC sending the set image, and where this IPC render send the image. Obviously, it's a event, it's emitting the event, and who is listening? Main.js is listening. Where? At this point, set image, the data. So theoretically, when we click on camera capture image, then capture image will trigger this thing. Since we have the Electron API in the window, it will use the send image and send the data. Camera preload will take that data from the send image function and emit an event called set image. The main.js then finally listen for the set image and console log the data, and console log will be available here. Restart, and I'm going to clear this terminal so that we can easily see what's happening here. That's good. We have this, and let's try. Okay, something is happening. Boom, you can see this is the data URL for our image. That's really amazing that we have achieved. That means we have sent the data, image data, from the window 2 to the main process, the render to the main. Next task is to move the data from main back to the render, but the window 1. So we have successfully done from window 2 to the main process. Now it's time from the main process to the window 1. And let's do this in the next video. So we have successfully get the data from window 2 to the main process. Now it's time from the main to render again, but for the window 1. How we can do that? Let's go to the documentation, and here on this part we have pattern 3 for main to render, and this is we really want. The only important thing we need to see here is this thing, main window, or the window from to where you want to send back the data. You just need to name it, then web content, send, the event, and the value. That's it. And for the preload for the window 1, will listen for this. Remember, this is going to be really interesting because previously we were listening on the main.js, but this time we are sending the event from the main.js. Okay, and then on the preload we are listening it, and then we create a function which will be available on the Electron API on the renderer. Okay, let's do this. It's going to be interesting. Now we have this IPC main.on set image. We get the data, but instead of logging it, obviously we don't want to log it. We want to say window, the window 1 dot web content dot send, and we are sending it's a set image. It's going to be send image. Actually this is going to be get image in my opinion, so maybe we can, oh, we don't want to change. I don't want to confuse you, it's little difficult. So I'm from the setting the image to now sending the image, and the data is here, but this is for the window 1, and this is going to push the data to window 1. How we can check? On the preload for the window 1, remember for the window 1, where is the window 1? Yeah, window 1 is having the preload like preload.js. Here we can say IPC renderer dot on. Actually this should be get image because we are now getting the image. This will be nice. So first we are setting the image, then get image event is there with the data, and get image will call the callback, and it's like a get image. We are getting the image on the window 1. Remember, once again, this preload is for window 1. Window 2 is having camera preload.js. Okay, so we are having this, and now since the index.html doesn't have any image tag, first I just want to log it. So here I just say console.log dot get image, and since this is going to be a callback, we will get event and the data like here. So first window dot electron API dot get image. One more time, remember, get ops, very nice, get image should be like this. Okay, so get image will get the event and the data. Why? Because on the main we are sending event and the data. This is the two things, event and the data, and finally log event and also log the data. Let's try this thing. Okay, we can open the camera, capture it, and we have some error. It says win is not defined. Okay, so what happened on our main.js is when we are doing these things, main window like window 1 is not available. So what we can do, we can move this IPC main listener from there to here. Okay, now it's going to work. So let's restart our server and try to capture the image. Image is captured. What happened on this side? You can see now we have the image data right here in the console, but we don't want the console. So first let's close the dev tool for both of the window and open the index.html, create an image tag here called id of image tag, and remove each and everything. Then on the index.js, we say once we hit this get image, then first we need to say, hey, create a const image tag is equal to document dot get element by id of image tag. We say this time, I'm not going to do any mistake, source is equal to the data, and that's it. That's really good thing. Let's try one more time. Final, run, start, open camera, capture the image, and something is not good. We can see the image is there, but the image data is not inside that. What happened is we need to do this thing, I believe, on the index.html also, like here, and last try, I believe. So click capture, and yeah, I'm here on the window 1. Final thing we need to do is once we click on the capture image, we can close this window 2, and then we can just stick with the window 1 only. Let's see how we can do this. So here we are, and then we need to do something like we need to send the information from here to the main, so that main can terminate the window 2. So we are triggering this thing when we set the image on the window 1. After that, we need to say window.electron API dot close window 2. This is the function I will going to create on our preload. On the preload, let's create this function, and this is not going to have any data. It's just going to say IPC renderer dot, this time I'm going to send the data to the main. So send, and we call it close window 2, and once again no data. When we are sending this, it's now time to listen on the main. So on the main, for this window 2, I will say IPC main dot on this event. I just want to do one thing, which is window 2 dot close. That's easy thing, and we can make this inline like here. Wow, so easy. Let's run it. See this, open the camera, here I am, and capture the image, and you can see window 2 is closed, window 1 is here with the image. Bang on, amazing thing we have done with this Electron application. Whoa, let's move to the finalization of this crash course of ElectronJS. So now let's give some final touch to our application, and then we will wrap up this crash course for ElectronJS. The final thing I want to have is a desktop notification. So if I click on capture image, I want a notification to be popped up which says that, hey, the image is captured. Okay, so let's do that. How we can do that? It's very easy, because it's going to be from the camera.js, and this is going to be a native JavaScript. It's not that Electron thing. So what you have to do, you just need to, on the click event of capture image, say new notification, and first you need to give the title, and second is the body. So title is image captured. Okay, second, in the option field, the body field would be like image is successfully captured from live video, and that's it. Yeah, this is the only thing we need to do. Let's restart this and see the real magic. So let's click on file, open camera, and here I am. Click on capture image. The notification doesn't pops up because I'm on screen recording mode, and if I see on my notification tray, I can see this is there, image captured, image successfully captured from live video. This is exactly we need, and this is how you can add the notification. Cool. So since this is a crash course for ElectronJS, I don't want to explain a lot of detailed concept in this video. But what next after this? What you want to do after completing this crash course, understanding what Electron can do? First thing is, obviously the documentation is really amazing. Yes, it's not in a flow, but it gives you a lot of information. If you go on the API part, you can find a lot of things you can use in your application. But just search for awesome Electron, and then you will find this GitHub repository, which I will link in the description. And this is having a 22,000 stars, which is really awesome, and it can provide you the details for everything, like what are the apps which are already built with the ElectronJS. So you can see here we have the open source application, which include the Hyper, the terminal, WebTorrent, Atom, VS Code, our loved IDE. The VS Code is built from the ElectronJS. Other things are also there, the Twitch application. Then we have some Pomodoro like timer based application. Then Google Play Music desktop application is built with Electron, and lots of other things. Not just the applications, you will also find some sample application, the boilerplate. You can also use Electron with React, Vue, or Angular. So if you really want to understand how this works with Electron, get this Electron React boilerplate, or Electron white, the Vue related thing, the white with a TypeScript, then Angular, Electron. Lot of amazing things are there. If you want some of the other tools, like to create a like application, native application for different operating system, then here is the Electron packager, which is really awesome and easy to use, and other similar kind of tools for ElectronJS, and using Electron component, documentation, articles, books, videos, everything is there. So I believe this is the real entry point for you after completing this crash course. So I hope you are going to enjoy this video, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment your view, like which part of Electron crash course you really like, and which is the next thing you really want to know, and tell me. I'm going to create a crash course for you on that topic. So don't forget to subscribe, like this video, which is absolutely important. Like this video is absolutely important. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we will meet in some other videos. Till then, goodbye.